Yeah, welcome to Trigger Radio. Here we are on the 16th of August, Wednesday. Welcome to all the people who are keep checking in and supporting this venture. I want to say hail up to me special K, Miss Kelly. She was actually messaging me this morning and asking me about the show tonight. Looking forward to the show tonight in light of what is happening in our news. And, white people are now killing white people over racism, which it was predicted a long time ago, all of this. It was written in a speech by Haile Selassie I in the League of Nations when he spoke before them, and the only man to have ever done so, and they were booing and heckling him, other European countries, as he continued to speak in Amharic until the philosophy which holds one way superior and another inferior, there will always be war. He didn't mean it only there will be war of the white race against the black race or the Chinese race. It just means there will be war. If you cannot find some discourse to peaceful solutions and you choose to not like me because my eyes are purple, that is your choice of hate. So as a reminder to all of you in this month of African liberation, they say, we'll be speaking to some people from the UNIA hopefully tonight. And we just want to start the show off nice and bright, where we give that message you've heard before.
Until the philosophy which hold one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited.
Whoa, that's right.
And abundant. Everywhere is war. It's a war that until they're no longer first class and second class citizens of any nation, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance than
the color of his eyes. Got to say the war.
And until the basic human rights are equally guaranteed to all without regard to race. And until that day, the dream of lasting peace, world citizenship, rule of international morality, the remaining but a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained. Now everywhere is war, war, and until the ignoble and unhappy regime that hold our brothers in Angola, in Mozambique, South Africa, subhuman bondage, have been toppled, totally destroyed. Well, everywhere is war. It's a war. War in the east, war in the west, war up north, war down south, war,
Rumors of war.
and
Until that day, the African continent will not know peace. We Africans will fight we find it necessary.
And we know we shall win as
We are confident in the victory of good over evil.
good over evil, yeah. Good over
War. War. More war. We seem to equate war with that vision we see on the battlefield with the horses and the tanks and the flags waving and shouting and shooting. And that's war. Warfare is every day. We're on the battlefield of Babylon, Babylonian time. Babylonian times have always been here. This is not news, man. Y'all act like this is news, but it isn't. We're very good at just, I think we get tired of talking about it because we realize it doesn't change. And for some of the white people I know, their stance is, you keep talking about this racism thing over and over and over and over. Okay. We didn't own slaves. My parents didn't own any plantations. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not asking you to feel guilty about slavery or even feeling guilt, actually. I don't need your guilt and pity. Let's get that straight. What we need to talk about is what humans did to some other humans, right? And we all as humans know that it was wrong, and we all know that we can gain more if we do positive things amongst ourselves. So let's start doing positive things because we have evolved intellectually to let us know that if we abuse women, then we're going to have some very confused people on the planet. And we have abused our women for thousands of years. You look at what's happening in the United States, where the neo-Nazis are fighting against the white supremacists, fighting against plain old white people out there, putting up their flags going, dude, we're not into this whole white supremacy business. And then one dude jumping in his car, running some woman over and killing her. And from their side, there's no sympathy for this woman because she didn't serve any purpose in life as far as they were concerned. The depth of hate that they have to live with every day, make them keep it. I don't want to try and convert any of them. I don't want to fit in. Let's get that straight. What is this fear they seem to have? Okay? Well, I'm going to keep trying playing music because it's something I've noticed. The music speaks far more eloquently than I ever could. Because the music inspired me anyway. So instead of me just going out with all these words I keep writing down, I'm going to play another tune, which is another one after Mr. Marley. And he usually does it right after war. It's called We Don't Need No Trouble. Bless you. Nice. Sheesh. Different than you expected, isn't it? Mm-hmm. That's a little different than you expected, isn't it? Yeah. Eric, come out here. Yeah. That's when Marley started to reach black people. Yeah. little bit before their generation.
Yeah.
Black Americans didn't like Rastafari because they thought we were dirty. Black Americans used to bum with Rasta.
Yeah. Who didn't?
Yeah, but you don't know. It's like, the visit them know. I like some hell and that.
Yeah, man. Well,
Yeah, you know.
there were so many people, man.
The football player, them want to like some basketball player. And before that, Rasta was there. But
Oh, it started right out on the earth, you know?
yeah, and where it shall return.
Yeah.
Man, I seen that one a long time. Because I heard it and I thought that would be just sweet. Yeah.
Dark, yeah. Right after independence.
What's the date?
Yeah.
1963.
Yeah, 1960.
Didn't have a date, exactly.
So it's happening in August of 1963.
Independence is the 6th of August.
Yeah.
So when
Well, this.
well, I guess it's very fitting that it happened right then.
Yeah. Right, then at the same
Independence.
the 1 year after independence.
Yeah, and happened at the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Showing Busterman his ability to suck out Elizabeth Battle, as every Jamaican government has said, which we will talk about soon. Don't need Rastafari, tell them. Set up the Burning Spirit Marcus character next.
Yeah.
We don't need it. We don't need no more trouble. Continuing up the. It's okay, let it play. I like that.
Okay.
Sorry, we're going on.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, that was the end of the interview where they were asking about the shooting and why it happened. And what we now know is that the CIA actually tried to murder Robert Nesta Marley. This is not news to anybody. This is in countless amounts of things you can read. So, they had recognized his influence on the island at the time with the people through Rastafari. They wanted to know which way he was going to go. They knew he would not have voted for the Jamaica Labour Party, which is the bourgeois upper crusties who wanted to be, who run the island literally with their money. And so they decided, well, you know what, we know we're not going to swim, so best thing for this is to kill him. They tried, didn't work out, but it sent a message, you know. So this morning I guess wrote, as I woke up, I picked up the phone and started typing away. They now see themselves all over the television. When I say they, I mean regular white people Canadian white people see themselves, their faces, the colors of the faces of the people with the neo-Nazi flags and the rebel flags and so on. They're not there in the hundreds, they're in the hundreds of thousands. This incident isn't isolated. It's been going on for a long time. There's a deep fear about the preservation of their race. Why fear it? What is it that you fear? You fear the African blood and the DNA, right? You don't want that in your veins. That's what you say, you don't want it in your children's veins. I get it. So keep them away. I got it. But why do you have to kill me though? Why do you have to hang me from a tree and pull me out of my house? And what's with all that stuff? You can keep your area. We won't come to it, I promise you. We won't miss anything. We'll start watching NASCAR and everything. Hate and fear. And then they consider themselves as Christians. Show love to your fellow man. As long as he's not a black man. Ain't no black man, there's no real man anyway. Because they would tell you, look, you guys were once slaves. And you don't deserve a place at the table. Look at you. You're all animals. Yeah. You heard it on so many movies, haven't you? Heard it in The Godfather. Tell them to leave their cocaine in the black neighborhoods. Because they're animals anyway. I remember that line. I was only 6, 7 years old when I saw The Godfather the first time. That was always been their description towards integration, which they believe is our ultimate goal. We don't want to integrate. If you feel that you need to be away from a human, be away from the human. We don't mind. Marcus Messiah and Haile Selassie I have always preached self-reliance. Why is that message confusing to some of us black people? They have shown you that they don't want you in their life, in their game. There's many white Canadians who feel exactly the same way those dudes waving the flags do. They're all around us. They're in our government. I have sat with them. I've been sitting with them for 40 years. I've been living in this country. Nothing you're talking about and nothing you're seeing is news to us. We're not shocked, we're not surprised, this is just powerful, of course. It's just that all the things that many of you were denying are now clearly in your face. See, you're done with us as black people, as slaves, you know. And they don't really need us in their subservient roles anymore unless we're willing to shut our mouth. Some of you want jobs and your own businesses and your own governance. That's what Garvey and Haile Selassie I spoke of consistently. You know, in their mindsets, you see, even though we're no longer slaves, we still don't get to rise. We are still beneath them in their minds. Some of them really need us to get back to Africa, to take the strain off their economy, as they say. In total denial that the most amount of poor people in the United States of America are white people. Because of the population. There's more white people in America than there is black people. And there's more poor white people than there is poor black people. That's a fact. Well, I'm just saying to all of you, this is how it has always been. Nothing has ever changed. We mask it as something else, but it's never changed. This is a very long cry for the message of spiritual peace of this land. Their role is to maintain this perceived position of superiority. Man, women, and children have to leave their homes to ensure that they maintain the message of whiteness. They must take to the streets and show a strength that we hate you niggas. Even now, some of them deny racism. There's so many people in Canada that we speak to. Let me help you with this, man. This is where I think I can help race relations in Canada. Every one of you who has an issue with something from some race, whether it's the Chinese you don't like, or the Jews, or the Pakistanis, or the niggers, or the Spicks, or whatever names you have. Once you have that hang up, whether you get it or not, we see it. Every time you start a sentence with, I'm not racist, but we know. And you have ways of saying that terminology in so many different ways. Did you notice that person when they walked in? What person? Like 20 people came in. The black guy in the purple suit. Oh, no. I saw him, but I didn't. It wasn't important enough in my mind's eye for him to stand out as it did in yours. Clarity is good, We know that it goes deep into the governance of Canada. It goes up into the government people. All of them, many of them in parliament positions in large corporations. These wish they were superior types of people in their entitled positions in life. And they go out and employ a police force to protect them and keep black and native people in very negative positions. Black people, churchifying us, There comes a time to question the message that you've been giving people. I don't deny Christianity, and I don't deny Islam. I don't deny Vishnu, or the Dalai Lama, or Rastafari, or Hasidic Jews, or Orthodox. Everybody have a place at the table. I am not denouncing any of these things. What I'm saying to you, though, is that this is about self-governance. The reason these things are happening to us is because we're choosing them to happen. Fear cannot lead you. Fear is not an option. They are afraid. What they are afraid of is something they wrote in their own science books about dominant genes. What's the guy's name? Mengele? The guy who talks about DNA and chromosomes and all these things. And the dominant gene, brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes, whatever eyes, is brown eyes. The dominant gene for skin color, black versus white, the dominant gene is black. And so on in many different parts of the DNA. So scientifically, some people are saying, well, so black people are superior in every possible category. And then, so what? Men are bigger than women. So that gives us the right to beat the shit out of them? No, man, this is about compassion within self. We don't need to win anything. We don't want to win anything from these people. Keep your flags, man. Stay in your hoods and whoop it up all you like. But, the ones in the government of this country, these are the people that are going to start coming at you. I'm going to call you Mary Margaret McMahon. I'll call her name as often as I can till more people know it. What is significant about this hooded wonder is her ability to try and bring Rastafest from 2-day thing down to a 1-day thing. Never hear nothing so yet. Rudeness. So, I'm going to play Marcus Garvey music. And I'm going to reach out to somebody from the UNIA. By the time, hopefully, we get back on the air, we'll have them on the phone and we'll talk about the upcoming celebrations. So, Let's select a red genera quietly this week. Run tune, my friend. Yes, I. Can't get no money to spend, yeah. Ooh, can't get nothing to eat. Can't get no money to spend. Only the one who let me do what I did for you, and you, hello. Come, uncle. Oh, let me do what I can for you alone. Good evening. I'm calling from Roots Radio. The right time do you? No, I am called July. Tony was the young lady that was setting all of this up. No? Julian, Julion. Very good, sister. Can you pronounce your beautiful name for me, please? Alright, so by the time we get back on air, you'll be on air. Thank you, sister. Well, thank you. Smells nice. Where is bag of wire? Where is my wire? He's nowhere around. And he can't be please. Let me try your word. Please step up. I tell you. She's on now. Try to hear the music. You want to hear? You want to say something? No. Please do. No. I say please do. Yeah. If you think of anything, it's all good.
I just want to hear when you guys come and make sure it's coming in nice. You know? You can just say good evening. Yes. Make the introduction.
Marcus Garvey, Marcus. We're talking about Marcus Mosiah Garvey. And on the phone is our sister in Tangiway. Good evening.
Robert Revolutionary greetings, Brother Julian. It's a blessing to connect with you.
Finally, yes. You have a very interesting event coming up. The Garvey 100 celebration, and I can't read the whole thing because my eyesight isn't what it used to be anymore, so I'm looking at the flyer and realize I can't enlarge it, so I can't read it up. So then maybe you can tell us about it. You can tell me about, before we even get to the celebration, why Garvey, why you?
Well, that's an excellent question, Brother Julian. Let me give you and our listeners a bit of context. My name is Candy Brenda. I'm a proud member of Chibono Institute. Chibono Institute was founded in October of 2012 by one of our great leaders, Nene Kwasi Kapele.
Nene Kapele, I went to high school with him.
Yes, I mentioned your name and his voice just lit up on the phone.
That's my great dream star. Trust me. The man come off the boat from Jamaica and he walking through the high school and I can see his face And you know, somehow we can tell the Jamaican people even, you know. So I started walking towards him, and the first Jamaican he met in this country was me. So, thank you for bringing up a red jig. Go ahead, sorry.
Yes, and he said the same thing about you as he was bigging you up. He said you're the first Jamaican that he met when he came here.
Yeah,
so he had a special place in his heart.
I was. I made sure of it too.
Oh, yes, yes. Wonderful when we make these sweet connections.
So you're saying that yourself and Nene actually started this?
Well, what happened was Nene founded Tabono Institute in October 2012. And we have a very vibrant leadership circle. And he occupies a very pivotal role within that.
Mm-hmm.
So it is Tabono Institute, which is the first African-Canadian research, public policy, and capacity building institute in this country. It is that institute that is organizing Garvey Pool 100 tomorrow, Thursday, August the 17th,
right,
from 6 to 8:30 p.m. At a different book list in Toronto.
Okay. So, back to the original. Why Garvey?
Well, tomorrow is a very historic or historic day in the history of African people worldwide.
Right.
It will mark the 130th birthday or Earth Strong of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey.
Right on.
And also the 100th anniversary of the founding of the UNIA, which is the Universal Negro Improvement Association,
right on,
in New York, in the United States. So two massive historic events tomorrow, my brother.
Nice.
So as an institute that does a lot of work within the African Canadian community, we felt it was imperative that we mark Papa Garvey's Earth Strong and the founding of the UNIA, because as many of our ancestors have taught us, in order for us to achieve full liberation as a people, we must be organized and we must be integrally involved in our community.
Nice, nice. This definitely sounds so much like things that Nene Kafele would be about. His consciousness is always, even as young virgins, we used to have some fairly good reasoning, and we always felt a huge call to step up and promote and support our culture. But especially like I said to people, and they get vexed with me, thank goodness for Donald Trump as far as I'm concerned, because he has helped to unblur certain lines that before people were trying to defend or pretend didn't exist. And what's important to me, that Marcus Messiah was speaking the same information that is still relevant today. So, very grateful to promote this event, and when I get home tonight, I'm going to get on to CanadianReggaeWorld.com and get into all of my social media and make sure that I get it out there. Now, the different book lists is a very small store. How much people we can get in there?
Well, I don't know if you're aware, Brother Julian, but they have changed their location, so they have a larger space.
Okay. That's
they
right.
now
They
have
moved. That's right.
779 Bassett Street, which is just about 1 block south of Lourdes, right near the intersection there. And I would say the capacity is to hold over 100 people there. So, and you know, we like to be close to each other, so if we have to cram up and jam up with Papa Garvey, that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Trust me.
Because you imagine Papa Garvey, born on August the 17th, 1887, during the height of the anti-colonial movement. went on to found the UNIA, the Universal Negro Improvement Association, in 1914, which at its height boasted a membership, and our people have different numbers, of at least 6 million Africans worldwide.
Yep.
Some of our people say 10 million,
Mm-hmm.
but it is the greatest Pan-African movement for the unity of our people around the world that we have produced.
You can Google photographs of hundreds of black people in the same UNA uniform marching down streets.
Talk about it, brother.
You know,
Powerful.
the information is there for ever and anyone who wants to get it. So this is where we always have to kind of come forward to the point of education.
That's right.
And I sound cynical when I say this, but it seems like it can't work within this time, so we have to fight hard for our children.
Well, you know, my brother, there's a lot of positive work being done by our people who have been inspired by the legacy and the ideas of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a few examples.
See,
We have organizations such as the Nation of Islam,
right on.
the All African People's Revolutionary Party.
Mm-hmm.
We have cultural icons like Burning Spear
Oh yeah,
and many other
we just came to.
cultural artists who have been impacted by Garvey's vision of Africa for the Africans, those at home and abroad. Up to your mighty race, you can accomplish what you will. And the need for us to create and sustain a unified state, United States of Africa. So our people still continue to build that legacy. There's a lot of positive work being done here in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, the future generation has a very important role to play. And we need to educate our young people. But there's great work being done here in Toronto at this time. Even your radio station
Yeah, for
is
real.
an important outlet to educate and empower our people.
But you know, honestly, it's what drives us here. We get
Yeah.
to realize that we have no media. We have no media talking about this. So it is incredible to not only have this outlet, but to have you and Nene Kafele and Louis March and a bunch of other people out there who are stepping, trying to improve the look of what our community is about and educating our children, because what is happening with this carding business is 2017. They weren't carding in Marcus's time, but they were doing hangings. And still I do 1 and 2 hangings now, but the carding issue, that is the highest, grossest amount of disrespect. And it's not the children that need to step up and fight for this, it's us adults, as far as I'm concerned. So it's not I look at them as my children, all of them. I have 7 picnic, blood picnic.
Right.
Every child that's in a jailhouse somewhere is still my child, because I know he or she doesn't want to be there. So we need to get this kind of pride and education to our children and children's children, and we need to show them something. And I think one of the things we should be looking at is taking on the Toronto Police and the government of Canada, and as far as going to the UN about this carding issue. We need to be strong. We need to. Marcus would have done that. That's what I look at.
Exactly, because, and I agree with what you're saying, that we as African people, black people in Canada,
Mhm.
must organize ourselves on a mass basis.
We must.
With all of these issues of carding, of the miseducation of our children, and
Yep.
so forth.
Yeah.
And, you know, Papa Garvey used to say so many powerful axioms, and he said, a people without knowledge of their history, origin, and culture
Yes.
is like a tree without roots.
Roots. Yeah.
So it's very important for us as African people, black people, to know our true history and where we originate, which is Mother Africa, and our culture, in order to empower ourselves and recognize that we are one people and we have one aim and one destiny. So I agree with you that we as the adults need to show leadership in respect of confronting these manifestations, these
Yes.
examples
Yes.
of white supremacy, which is a global system.
It is a global system, I know that. But,
Yeah,
but
it's a
John,
global
we
system.
listen, we tell this to those who need to hear it, and fortunately having this voice here helps the situation. Them already afraid that way, and okay.
Talk about it, brother.
This fear, this hatred is deeply rooted in fear. So I am saying to all black people, them already afraid of us. We're not gonna bully them. That's not what we are. But we can stand up for what we believe, and we can stand up for truth as best we know it, and you know, truths and rights, as Peter Tosh, another Garveyite, spoke about equal rights and justice.
That's right, brother.
You understand? So we need to step up hard for our children, because if we did that, it would open their eyes to see that their elders are willing to fight for them, and that will give them pride amongst themselves. So, you know, when I come tomorrow, and I'll see you there, I'm hoping Nene Kafela will be in the house.
He will be. And you know what? We have a dynamic, powerful leadership circle in Tabona. We have Brother Winston Husband. We have Sister Donna Thomas. We have Nene Kwasi Kapele. We have Sister Zamani Ra.
Yes.
We have Brother Trevor. And we have Brother Julian Hickford. We have a dynamic, powerful leadership circle. So this is really a collective effort. And I wanted to highlight some of the great work that Tabono is doing. One of the things that we did most recently was we were involved in a process of advocacy in respect of the Black Experience Project that was launched by Environment Institute to do a survey of over 1,000 Africans in the Greater Toronto area. And we had some serious concerns about what was happening behind the scenes in respect of how they were treating some of the personnel who are black people.
Yes.
And the racism and disrespect. So we embarked upon a process of advocacy on behalf of our community since November of last year. And we are proud to say that due to our advocacy and the advocacy of other African organizations out there, like the African Canadian Legal Clinic and Black Cap and other organizations, we were able to impact the report that was produced recently through Environment Institute. So there's that work being done.
That's
There's
very
other-
important.
there's
That's
other
very
work
important
that-
work.
Pardon?
That is very important work.
It is, and there's other...
I worked at the TTC for a while, and I pointed out to a very important counselor. He and I stood on the corner of Eglinton and Oakwood area and counted the buses that went by. And I said, "How many black people you count?" And he said, 9. And there was one white dude driving the bus. I said, when I first came to Canada, there was no black people driving no bus, no time. And then in the past a while, the front line, the color of the front line of the TTC has changed to black people, men and women. And then I also recognize that the abuse to the front line of the TTC is higher than it has ever been. And I wondered why they actually changed the color of the front line, and how come most of the black people in the TTC who actually work on the front line, and there's none of us represented in management. Everybody went blank. But that is something I will talk about in future times. I just wanted to thank you for taking the time. This is important things, and what I'm thinking of when you were rhyming off the names of your committee, I was thinking about having like a reasoning circle and actually filming it.
Okay.
And
That's an idea.
yeah, man, because when people like you show up and are actually, and I know Nene Kafele, he starts a project and he ends it. He starts and he finishes. It doesn't matter He's the first person I know that got to a stage in his life where he was flying to, is it Kenya or Ghana, where he built water wells.
Yes, the borehole project
Yeah, man.
in Nanya Provo. He was installed as the chief of youth development in Nanya Provo
Yeah, man.
about 6 or 7 years ago because of the outstanding work he was doing to enrich our people's lives on the continent.
Everybody I talk about helping black people, but then I can feel it flew around the world to do something about it.
Yes.
So, as my brethren, nobody can say nothing to me about him. Yeah, son, and I see what he's doing here, so I'll be there tomorrow. And I think, like I said, I'd love to invite that crew of people. And that's a level of consciousness that our children don't ever get to hear.
Right.
So, and especially out of Toronto. So maybe when the man if you come into the show and do a little round table thing with me.
And you know what, my brother? I'm going to pass on that message to the leadership circle.
Mm-hmm.
When you mention round table,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the highlights of tomorrow.
See?
I just want to quickly give a brief overview
Okay.
of what is planned for
Okay, go
God
ahead.
People 100 tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to have just a quick overview. A drum call. We're going to have libations. We're going to have the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey's son, Dr. Julius Garvey. He's going to call in to the program.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to hear that lifeline, that warrior blood coming through the phone.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a round table discussion about black people, African people organizing to achieve complete economic self-reliance.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have elder guardians present who are going to talk about Papa Garvey and building a chapter of the UNIA in Toronto in the past.
Right.
We're going to have cultural artists. We're going to have some lovely food and greetings from the Jamaican government as well as the Ghanaian government. So that just gives you some highlights
Nice.
of what's going to happen tomorrow, Thursday, August the 17th, from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at a different book list at 779 Bathurst Street, 1 block south of Lower. The nearest subway is Bathurst. And if our people need further information, they can call me at 416-825-7900. 416-825-7900. And we're asking our people to bring out the youth because, as you said, we need to educate and help organize the young people to continue the rich, proud legacy of great son of Africa, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, whose 130th Earth Strong birthday is tomorrow. So we have to big him up big time, brothers and sisters who are listening.
That's it.
Because our great ancestor is still with us.
Never goes
That's
anywhere.
important.
You can kill the body, but the spirit will always be here.
He's always here.
Yes, I.
That we have to manifest his spirit by organizing
Yeah, man.
wherever we live as African people. We need to build the Pan-African movement.
The children need to see this movement and know that it's real. I think what has happened is that they have been, the world has tricked them into believing that we're incapable of it. And there's nothing further from the truth.
That's right.
So.
We have a lot of organizations in Toronto doing great work. You know, we have the African Canadian Legal Clinic. We have Tobono Institute.
So
We have many different organizations. So we don't want our young people to think nothing I want.
How can I get this information? You don't have to really communicate though.
Yeah, the information.
Because, Canadian Reggae World, RootsReggaeRadio.ca, TorontoReggae.ca are three reggae media entities that should be educating our people on this sort of thing. So you and I will link up. I will get your email address off here, and we will actually can get No, actually, yeah, and I will link up, yeah.
Yes.
And I want to work some of this out where our children know where to turn sometimes without, just like you can Wikipedia something, we can Blackpedia some things.
Talk about it, brother.
I have that ability, we have that ability, so we just make that connection right now. See? I'm about actually like Nene, he and I were kindred spirits. We used to play football, soccer.
Okay.
We never used to lose much because we always had that mindset. It wasn't about being better than anybody else. It was about competing to the highest level possible. And with him, he was a finisher. He's always been a finisher. One of the things that I found in our varied histories is that we don't have a lot of stick-to-itiveness,
Right.
and it's time for us to do that. But I appreciate it, and I'll be there tomorrow. Different book list, 779 Bathurst and Bloor area, from 6 o'clock till
8:30.
8:30.
And free.
That's a favorite word everybody love, eh?
Yes.
Anyway.
Freedom.
when you said libations, I know said they might have alcohol or two, so I laugh when I heard the word libations.
Well, you know, my brother, if we know our culture, we'll know that our ancestors have been pouring libation for thousands of years.
Thousands.
And it's to show reverence to the Creator.
One
And those who have
ganja
passed
same
on.
way.
And we're one people. We're connected to those people who have passed on to the spirit world, and we're connected to the living in this realm. So libation is about that connectedness, that spiritual perspective.
Sister Tandu, thank you so much, and we will link up. And I really want to get that information because I'm going to make a part of my website a place to find information like this.
Yes, I look forward to hearing from you about that. And Brother Julian, I want to thank you very much for the opportunity to represent the Bono on this radio. I want to thank all the brothers and sisters who make Roots Reggae the great radio station that it is. And I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow so we can big up the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey tomorrow on his 130th Earth Strong. Peace, love, and blessings, my brother.
Yeah, people, you're hearing what going on out there. We are fighting for our race of people. We choose to fight for a race of people. And it's not just about the black race, it's about the human race. Being black doesn't make you anti-white. Being pro-black means you love yourself. See, there's nothing wrong with loving self. If you love yourself, you come up with the straight and the right answers. So, I'm going to run at you and say,
I have one.
you know, my selector said about you, so I didn't even gonna talk. Run through the bridge. Thank you. Tell me how to call. I like your post. You're too bad. We started the show last week. White Rasta. I went to them that old stretch. Brian and Tony Ward, Mokoti and Pitt. Every time there and last, it's a 7-minute song. But the reason I'm saying, playing is just run some music on. That's what I want to do now when I come back. No, sorry. Play Bullseye. I want to play the Manhattan because I want to play the Patrick Lumumba. Speech, 10 minutes. Yeah. So I want to. Have you heard this man speak?
No.
Jesus Christ. Benson. Why are you next to him? It's hard to pull up.
It's a bullseye, man.
Bullseye. Brian and Tony Gold. I went teach them certain things about island culture. I was not telling about dancehall. Don't come and tell me about dancehall. And then people know where we come from with this. Dancehall means many things. And what people don't like isn't the only thing there is about dancehall. So So my whole cultural thing is like, you don't love dancehall. You know, Jamaican. You can't come tell me wrong. Okay, so there's flashness in some things. Yeah, I get it. But I still love dancehall.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a part of the culture. That's a part of reggae.
If we never have dancehall, we will scam stuff. So that's how we scam. That's how we walk the fuck up. We become sorry. Out of many one people. Anyway. I'm at the radio show, so I know it's you. 9:15-ish, we'll be home. You done right at 9 o'clock, right? Yeah, man, everything's good. I'll call you again when I leave here. 9:15, you can't get there. Okay, see you soon then. Bye. Yeah. Tell me how come them still a fight Rasta. Tell me how come there was so much gun and banana gun factory in Jamaica. Tell me how come you expect us to accept this behavior. I'm gonna keep it a little light still, but it's the same kind of vibe. One of the things that has been a pet peeve of mine recently is the attack on the dance hall by not only the Jamaican government but by some other factions of people out there who are upset with the violence or the misogyny or all the words that they use for the dance hall. Those things do happen in the dance hall. I admit to it. Sin, and some things need to change. Some things have changed, and you know, can't spread hate in no way, shape, or form. So once you deal with hate, you have to walk by that. See? But there's another form of the dancehall. There's many forms of dancehall. I'm gonna keep bringing it. So this week, I go up on the King Jammers label. And I pick off about 3 nights like a tune. And next week I'm going to pick some more because this is also what the dancehall is doing. And this is part of black culture. And if you don't know that, that's why I'm educating you, because you don't know it. And without me telling you, you can't know. So run tune, my brother. Brian and Tony Gold. Turn it off. Internet tape. If you only tune them somewhere fresher.
Yeah.
I play more music. Forget it. And then we gotta find some music after.
We have a night in mind.
I had so much tunes in my head. Come on. Excuse me.
Right, and be good.
Try that again. still more about voices.
Bless you, my son. With the Valentine. Burning Spear, Slave Ripper. And then you can't give me. But because you can put it up anytime you want to try to see where they.
Okay, good. Like you must be Cupid in disguise. Never miss a Marcus Garbage.
Which one of the burning spear you just said?
Slave right there.
Slave right there.
Right down there. Run cockatoo right now.
Alright.
Oh no, different, but it's okay. Run the same way. Run the same way.
Won't you go home to your mama, your papa, you're too young to be my lover,
Good night.
to be for me lover. Whoa, you must
Go. No, he's not here. I think he has a show tonight downtown. Yeah.
She will cause worries into my world. Guess if
I don't know where it is, you know, I think it's somewhere, college or somewhere down
you're a girl that is so rude and
True that can be.
I'm really not so clear on it, but I think it's college Algae or something like that. Yeah, but he's not here.
Talking to you, Sandra, talking to you, Sharma, can't even see you. Too young to be my lover. Whoa, baby. Girl, won't you go home to your mama, go home to your papa, just
Since
go
we have so
to
much
your
knowledge, we're not going to keep talking about this event tomorrow.
years later. Whoa, hey. Some of them are talk about you, and the champion bubbler.
So you're gonna play a slavery day after that?
I want Tiger Bombastic first.
Too young to be my lover, too young to be my lover. Boy, so girl, won't you go home to your sister, go home to your
I
papa,
want to feel all ashamed of our need to dance and to sing and to show expression to music. They want to curb with, they want to stop us drumming, they want to stop Afro Fest. And push on it. We let them. Yo, that you can feel it like king. Yeah, you can feel it like that. But wretches, there you go, Casey boy. Damn, that's 60. You're fresh out the road. I'm singing in the 70s. I'm going to look on the Harlem. You know, it's like, yeah, you just can't look and go the family, you know?
Yeah.
Only half the boat goes on there.
Yeah, man.
And the sea, say, yo, what's up? And you look up and smile, and you know, like, yeah, it's like, the white people pop and walk down. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just the first day in high school. We thought it was going to be the worst day of life. Because everyone ever come and kind of waited for me.
Yeah, man, we know it, bro.
Yeah.
I know exactly how it
I
goes.
hated it. And the first thing boy I got a store. I love Jamaica, you love here. No, sir.
Yeah, man.
Right, I look here and go, cha.
That reminds me of when I come on and join the militia and I go walking there the next year, man, fresh out on the board.
Yeah, we're talk about when we first come off the boat and we come to Canada, you know. Cause we hated it, you know, most of it. Some of them like it, but most of them hated it. Anyway, yeah, I play some dancehall music. You know, within everything, them I talk about so-called militancy. This is not militancy, this is the truth. We're speaking truths. There's a Marcus Garvey event tomorrow at a different hotel. And it's a Tabora Institute doing it. And it's at 779 Bathurst, the 130th Earth Strand celebration of Marcus Messiah Garvey. And 100 years of the UNIA. And that's pretty significant, you know what I'm saying? Trivia, did you know Timeless here in Toronto, we're gonna go every Saturday night and Friday night for dance reggae music. Marcus Garvey actually owned that building. Marcus Messiah Garvey owned the building that Timeless is currently sitting on. If you lift the mat at the front, you will see, I think there's a crest of the UNIA. Still there, man. Today is also the 52nd, I wouldn't call it either anniversary or a celebration, but it's the 52nd year since the Coral Garden murders by the then Prime Minister of the country, Alexander Bustamante, murdering Rastafari people, talking about if the jails can't hold them, the cemeteries will, giving the police in Jamaica any arms they need to murder Jamaican Rastafari people. That happened today, 52 years ago. In the month of August, here we are. When is independence again? The 16th? The 6th of August, 1962? Today, the 16th?
Yeah.
1963. They murder Rastafari people. Something that was actually orchestrated and set up by the CIA, where they brought black men to Jamaica with locks and deliberately burned the gas station with witnesses so that they could actually go into Coral Garden and murder and steal Rastafari people's money and murder people, rape. Jamaicans murdering Jamaicans under the behest of the colonial government. Bustamante was given the order to do so by the Queen. I don't know if you know them things that's still the same thing when we're facing today. Now what's interesting is white people murder white people now too. They never saw that coming. But what they're starting to find out is that the 1% doesn't care what color the nigga is anymore. I've been trying to tell you. They don't care about any of you. So you think you have superiority based on the color of your skin, and you want to talk about white and neo-Nazi. This 1% who makes the decisions on the planet don't care about you. It was convenient to use you because chaos makes money. So you've been used and you're being used. Those people you see on the front line there with them Doc Martens and them skinhead and them neo-Nazi and them rebel flag. That's the 1%. That's the whatever percent dumbasses that they put out there to distract us, to keep us in fear, or whatever they want to keep us in. Cause I'm not afraid. None of us are afraid out there. And if you come down to it, you don't know what our work is too. So we just go forward, praise His Majesty, and do the positive things that we're supposed to do. You understand? Like celebrating Marcus Messiah Garvey and bringing his information to our children. Anyway, one of the things I had brought to me recently was a man called Patrick Lumumba, which I've heard of this man obviously, and I've listened to a couple of things, but somebody sent something to me and I listened to that and I really liked it and I kept searching more things. And I have about 10 minutes of him telling you what's happening in Africa today. Today. And if you listen and learn, because this consciousness is growing globally. So around that from here, that is information our children need.
Many questions come to mind.
I'm going to play Mama Africa.
Many times I ask myself,
That's
what
fine.
would happen if Mwalimu were to rise up
Bojo Africa, right?
and see what is happening?
Thank you.
Many times I ask myself, what would happen if Kwame Nkrumah and Patrice Emery Lumumba were to rise up and see what is happening? Because what they would be confronted with is an Africa where the Democratic Republic of Congo is unsettled. There is a war going on there, but it's not on the front pages of our newspapers because we don't even control our newspapers and the media. As I speak to you, the Central African Republic is at war, but we talk of it only mutedly. As I speak to you now, in South Sudan, the youngest nation in Africa, the Nuer have risen against the Dinka. As I speak to you now, Eritrea is unsettled. As I speak to you now, there is an ease in Egypt as there is an ease in Libya. In Niger it is no better. In Senegal, in the Casamance is no better. In Somalia is no better. Africa is at war with herself. This is what they would be confronted with. They would be confronted with an Africa which statisticians and romantic economists say is growing, but which in truth is stagnated. That is the Africa that they would be confronted with. They would be confronted with an African which, as Professor Mlama intimated in our presentation here, is an African which is suffering from schizophrenia. He does not know herself. They would be confronted with an African whose young men and women have no interest and no love for their continent. They would be confronted with an Africa where young men and young women are constantly humiliated at the embassies of European countries and at the United States of America as they seek the almighty green card. They would be confronted with an Africa where young men and women from Niger, Nigeria, Senegal, Mali, and Mauritania drown in the Mediterranean as they seek to be enslaved in Europe. This time round, Africans are not wailing and kicking as they are being taken away to be enslaved. They are being seen wailing and kicking as they seek to be enslaved in Europe and America. This is the tragedy of Africa. They'll be confronted with an African where people have lost their self-pride. An Africa where Africans are not proud of their things. An Africa where in the hotels of Dar es Salaam or Nairobi, even food has foreign names. When we fry potatoes, we call them French fries, even when they are fried in Dar es Salaam. That is the Africa that they would be confronted with. They would be confronted with another Africa. An Africa which does not tell her story. An Africa whose story is told by Europe and America, the CNN, Radio Deutsche Welle, Radio France. That is the Africa they would be confronted with. They would be confronted with young men and women who have no pride in Africa. When they want to enjoy themselves, they sing the praises of football teams from Europe and America. It is Manchester United. It is Arsenal. It is Real Madrid and Barcelona, not Yanga, not Mufulira Wanderers, not Gor Mahia, not FC Leopards. No. That is the Africa that they will be confronted with. They will be confronted with an Africa which does not enjoy its theater and drama. That Africa celebrates Leonardo DiCaprio. It celebrates Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. The Africa does not celebrate Genevieve Naji of Nigeria, or Rita Dominic, or Lou Jacobs of Nigeria. It does not celebrate Bongo Wood, or Nollywood, or Riverwood. It celebrates Hollywood. That is the Africa with which they would be confronted. They would be confronted with African women whose greatest source of joy is cheap grade B Mexican soap opera, La Patrona, La Mujer de mi Vida, The Rich Also Cry. Why must we remind ourselves of these realities? Because throughout the ages, the battle has always been the battle of the mind. And if your mind is conquered, then you are going nowhere. And that is why in the ages of enlightenment in Europe, the great René Descartes said, cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. And therefore, if Africans are to begin to make a contribution in their affairs, Africans must begin to think. But the question is, are we thinking? We have universities in their numbers. Tanzania has universities including Dar es Salaam. Nairobi has universities, as indeed Kampala, as indeed South Africa, Johannesburg. We have all these universities. We have engineers. But our roads are not being made by Tanzanian civil engineers. It is the Chinese who are present in this assembly who are making our roads. So we have engineers who cannot even make roads. We have doctors whom we have trained. But when we are sick, particularly if we are of the political class, depending on who colonized you, if you are colonized by the United Kingdom, you rush to London. If you are colonized by the French, you rush to Paris. If you are colonized by the Portuguese, you rush to Lisbon. And if you are colonized by the Spaniards, you rush to Madrid, Spain. And recently, because the Asians are beginning to get their act together, we run to India. And very lately, because the Arabs are also beginning to get their act together, we run to Dubai. Notwithstanding that we have the Kenyatta hostels of this country, the Muhimbilis of Tanzania, the Chris Hani Baragwanaths of South Africa, and the Mama Yemos of Kinshasa in Zaire, or the Democratic Republic of Congo. But we have no faith in our doctors. In the area of education, we also don't have faith. Our political class introduced something that they call free education, but it's free indeed, free of knowledge. Because they are so suspicious of those institutions that the typical African politician would not dare take their children to those schools. Their children will be educated in the British system, in the American system, so that when they graduate, they go to the United Kingdom, to the United States. Not that there is anything wrong with those institutions, but the agenda is wrong because our leaders long lost the script and ought to be described for who they are, our misleaders. But we are co-authors of our own misfortune. Whenever we are given an opportunity to elect our leaders, we are given a blank check. And if you permit me a little latitude, and if you give me a blank check, and you allow me to analogize, and you say that I'm given the blank check to buy a Mercedes-Benz, what we do is that when we are called upon, having been so empowered, We buy what one calls a tuk-tuk from India and expect it to behave like a Mercedes-Benz. How does that happen? Because what we do is to elect thieves. We elect hyenas to take care of goats, and when the goats are consumed, we wonder why.
Are the hyenas. They've always been there. They got into politics as children, and they wanted to be politicians because they wanted to understand politics and the game of politics. They didn't go to school for ethics. They never went to school for ethics. Yeah, Junior Pacman, you call in, so you listen to the show. Okay, buddy, enough already. As I was listening to Patrick Lumumba, you need to look him up and listen to this man. This is like a big rock star in Africa because he's speaking openly about kicking Europeans out of the whole of Africa. America, get out of black people's countries. I've been saying it for years, but he's saying it more and other people are listening. And all of those Europeans need to leave Africa today, you know? Anyway, so I love my little book. It's called The Wise Mind. Every time I hold it up to my audience, I tell you you can get it at Genesis 1 in Kensington Market, 14 St. Andrew, okay? And it has many different chapters in the sayings of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. So we're telling you, you know, it's not a book to go and like read like the Bible and pray and all that. If you wanted to, you could, I guess. But that's not what this is for. Rastafari is not about all that. It's about the liberty of what you live on a daily basis. And one of the topics he brought up here was called self-defense and how vital it is that men be jealous of their freedom. Our unity being our formidable weapon of defense, it should be kept more strengthened and other forces of defense. And the lines that really got to me, and pertaining to what Patrick Lumumba was talking about and what I've spoken about in regards to the confessions of the economic hitman who took the CIA into various countries, including Jamaica, disrupted the governments, gave money to the bourgeois to sell out their own country and sell out their own people, which they were willing to do because it doesn't really affect them. They'll always have money in the bank, right? But what His Majesty did say, for those of us, and this is for all you Africans globally, our strength resides not in the military might or in the economic wealth, but rather in the cumulative moral influence which we can bring to bear on the peoples and the problems of the world. The cumulative moral influence which we can bring to bear on the peoples and the problems of the world. Our strength resides not in the military or the economic wealth, but in spirituality. They have you fighting for physical things, your car, your house, and raise, sick days. The list is endless of the distractions that we are brought. It comes back to spirituality. So the spirit, we believe, all of it started in the land of Africa. So we celebrate our African pride with my brethren called Bocha Bantan. Run tune selector. Something forward. There's everything much dangerous in Africa right now. Oh, so you know something about this. But you can't kill the spirit. You can't kill the body. You can't kill the spirit. You can touch it now, it can explode. Yeah.
No, the understanding will be right and broad. I think the way I look at it now, the same thing like that.
Honestly, once it happens, it brings something new. There's no other place in the world that reggae music. So we're in Africa, and Jamaica. What I tell you is that I'm thanking you that way. That's your man. But I told them, I said, if it's going to be your greatest legacy, you're going to break it. That's what I want to.
Yeah.
You never want to believe me. I didn't mean it to be a negative thing. I just hoping it would elevate him to go out and treat it right.
Right.
He never did. We got blood, want this nation to move forward. Want to get that right out. Yeah, Africa. Yeah. Trouble coming again. Trouble. We don't get no juice. You know something? I'm going to leave right now. I'm done.
No, man, don't do that.
Yeah, alright. They say we should have jumped right tonight, but no, hold it. So just say it because we were discussing about pride in Africa and all of them things that today, from this morning I woke up, I knew I was going to wear this shirt. This is what I wanted to wear to the show today. Because when you hear me talk about the Jamaican government and the Jamaican bourgeoisie, don't mean that I'm proud of Jamaica to anything. I love Jamaica. I love where I'm born. It is what grew me to where I am today. Saying enough things happening in Canada taught me things as well. And I'm grateful for my Canadian bringing up, see. But I'm gonna love the racism thing. Can't take it. I grew up in it in Jamaica, them call it classism, but as I point out to people, the higher up you go in the classes, is the lighter the skin gets anyway. So the same thing, race, the distractions of them trying to be superior, we need to let that go and focus on self, as His Majesty is saying to you, you know, the strength we have and seek come from within. It is a spiritual thing. Them can't budge you. The reason them can't even get them mind on reggae music right now. Reggae is a spiritual entity, you know. That's why they can't teeth it yet. Them try every which way but loose. I can't teeth it yet. Saying they cannot. It's a spiritual thing. Reggae music, the basis of reggae music come from the Naya Bengi of Rastafari. Rastafari is a truth. Rastafari is the truth as far as we are concerned, and we speak that truth. So we tend to try to not lie to ourselves. And to be a politician, you not only have to lie to millions of people at the same time, you have to lie to yourself to make the lie sound like the truth. So they're good at it. But we don't want no politicians. I won't meet with any of these people ever again. My objective is to elevate reggae music and black culture to the point that we are successfully doing things and we can actually create divisions. There has to be some levels of divisions when you have a police force guarding our children. We need a gated community to keep the police out. You can't murder our children like this. But we live in it now. We're a part and parcel of it, unfortunately. As Patrick Lumumba was saying to you, we have much corruption and much Judas in our land. Saying we need to burn out the Judas there, I guess, but we have to recognize that they're gonna come anyway, and when they do what they do, we eliminate them and move on with the project. In the past, every time something breaks down for us, the whole thing breaks apart. We have to stop that. we need organizations going forward. Same as the UNI is saying that the different book list tomorrow, 779 Bathurst, a celebration of the 130th birthstone of Marcus Mazar Garvey and 100 years since the birth of the UNIA. Come tomorrow, that's that date. Run some more African pride, my brethren, from the one called Peter Tosh.
The Johnny Go. Yeah, we know right 50 and now.
And I like stepping rhythm. I like stepping rhythm.
That's alright, so. That's how we go as we go.
7 minutes of song. Jesus, look at that puff on the spliff. You want to puff on the spliff? You sure? You'll fall asleep? Okay. And it be good. Listen, when Africans start busting Saturday night, we just start jump and spot. No, that you ain't looking.
Yeah.
There's something about it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, some nice music there though.
He killed it.
Yeah.
He killed it.
Yeah.
Because the system nearly killed the vibe. And for a lot of people. Me, I find it funny. So I'm not offended by it. But a lot of people hate it. And so the energy level starts to weird. Listen, that's what a DJ is supposed to do. Put on music, make your cool, take up shape.
Right.
And he did that.
Yeah.
And he made the second part of the energy too.
Yeah.
Stronger.
Still up the energy, yeah.
Short. That's 37 minutes. I want to get as much strength as I can. So with them, obviously they want to get that done. You get them set together. Yes, please. Yeah. That's so. Okay. I'll speak after that one then.
Yeah. Alright.
That's my anthem. All my jamming is music and not be militant all the time.
Kick it,
If you want to do live, treat me good. Boy, if you don't know, I beg you.
I'm like a walking grace, and don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. Say I'm dangerous. I'm like a walking grace, and don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous.
Back to the mouth.
You are a bully. Treat me good.
Trust me, boy.
You are a bully, now may you treat me good. I'm like a stepping grace, and
Don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous.
dangerous. I'm like a stepping grace, and don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. Dangerous. You are a junkie,
I'm gonna say,
not a junkie from me.
all right there.
If you are a junkie, not a junkie from me.
Yeah.
I'm like a stepping grace,
Cocktail,
junkie size,
chocolate,
I'm dangerous.
bad,
I'm dangerous.
so dangerous.
Stepping grace, and don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. Dangerous. You eat that one.
Eat the asphalt. Oh. Let's soup. What? Okay then. Yeah. Don't you watch? I'm dangerous. Wake up. Nobody ever keep on me. Yeah. If you are not free, move away from me.
I'm like a stepping grace, and don't you watch my side. Stepping walking signs, I'm dangerous. Dangerous. If you wanna live,
Can do it. Treat me good if you wanna live. Yeah.
better treat me good.
Why?
I'm like a stepping on the fence, and don't you jump side. I'm dangerous. I'm dangerous. I'm like a stepping on the fence, and don't you
Boring.
dangerous. I'm dangerous. If you drink, mother,
Treat me good.
and if you treat me good, I'm like a flashing light,
And a rolling thunder, I'm dangerous. Flashing light and rolling thunder.
raising my size. I'm dangerous. I'm dangerous.
What a time I'm coming again.
Smile, man, I make your face stop hurting, man. Treat me good. If you wanna live, you better treat me good. I know some love live.
want some? I'm dangerous. African Star loves his photograph, doesn't he? He made it his profile picture. That's all right. Whatever events we do, we post it on shots. Yeah. A man says, well, they don't know it's creative reggae. Well, I said, they don't have to. It's reggae. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dangerous!
Yeah, that's how it spread, you know? Like wildfire. And there you go.
I'm very dangerous. That is the anthem of most every single Jamaican mentality. You understand? Walk wide. Don't you watch my size. We are dangerous. The nations in Africa, all of the provinces are wising up. It is time for the European to leave. This fear that you are seeing today, seeing, is something that was aware was going to happen anyway. There will be an enlightenment. There will be change. Some things we'll like, some things we won't like, but we're going to adjust, as we always do. Mother Earth adjusts. She will always adjust. We can't done her. She went done we first. These people have whatever issues they want to have. That's not my concern. I want better for Jamaican people. I want better for Jamaican children. I want better for Africa. There's nothing wrong with striving for more, for a better lifestyle for our people. When there is more contentment, there is far less crime, there's far less need for police. I don't know what they're gonna do with that big military budget they keep coming up with reasons to get, but whatever, man. They will always be physically stronger than us. They can blow us up 20 times over, man. This is not what this so-called war is about. It's about the spiritual energy within all of you. You think this is a joke. You need to tap into who you are. If you need Jesus Christ to do it, man. If you need Allah, go for it. If you need Krishna, deal with it. Whatever, Buddha. Whatever gets you there. And even if you are an atheist and an agnostic, there's still a connection to that spiritual energy. Anyway, whether you ascribe to any belief system or not. Let's get beyond the belief systems that they have used to confuse us for a long time. Every single one of them KKK and neo-Nazis and all of them are all Christians. All of them can be Christian and no one may be Christian too. All of them white Jesus are going to help black problems. No, king. So once you have that enlightenment of self, stop worrying about the gun them, man. Start moving in the direction of positivity. Because that alone will move them back. That alone. You don't even believe it, but it will. You know, that spiritual energy is what guides us all. So, bad like razor, tough, sharp. That's how we do it, you know. So, instead of we play some more tune, you know, Papa Harold. What you say?
It's gonna be good.
Yeah, because, Peter went to African Star after being with my brother Saturday night, so we did the ayahuasca thing. It was a beautiful night, lovely energy, blah blah blah. And then African Star came on and just blew up the room. And this is one of the tracks he used, Wrong Tune. I didn't want to take out the headphones, guys. It sounds so good in the headphones.
You know what? I saw it about there, you know?
Mention.
Sweet.
I'm proud, though. But,
She
since we started this thing. We started reaching our shore. That's right. You got to me. I'll give it to you now. I can predict this. People with Marcus Muslims like that and after the first taking about this land down. This is not news to you. Here. That. But yeah. Saturday night was nice game.
That was all good.
I wish, you know, so we should have tripled that time, huh? We should have.
It should have been. Yeah.
What's your face, sir? If not you can smile, if I laugh. Already. Enlightened, sir? Were you enlightened?
So why you not do that?
Yeah. She should have my show tonight?
Huh?
Does she not have my show tonight?
I told her.
Till I'm working tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's supposed to call you.
But she has said you could have did it earlier on. Because they did it from 12 o'clock. So they did it from 12 o'clock. You could have come
Did she have any conversation? She's never included me in anything. And she refused to pay me for my services to promote her Rastafari.
Oh, okay.
I said, no, sister. Rastafari especially let me.
Yeah. Now go get to the bottom of this thing. Now do some real investigating.
The truth will always set you free. Find the truth and you'll get the story.
Sunshine, so if you need it.
Sunshine more. I'm afraid of that door. Anything you want to do? I'm afraid of that.
Yeah.
And him not afraid for talk.
Yeah.
You want the truth?
Yeah, man.
Even if you must say.
I'll tell you something.
If you want the truth, go see him.
Yeah, man.
You tell me about me, but me no want to hear.
Yeah. That him say it's a good thing. But I'm told it done sometimes.
And I'm not going to. So, that's what I'm saying. He will say things I won't like, but I still respect him. Toad. Bumba, nah, powder, none of that. We don't need to. See, that's the difference. I'm trying to tell about that.
Pull it up. Oh, yeah. Put that there.
So you just have now actually have to take one out right now.
Oh, not to be.
Now you know less than $25, you know. You know say nothing less than 20. If you have to put it back on the calendar.
Well, you didn't support the business.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Alright, so we're ready for them.
One day go on the system,
Yeah?
One day go on the system.
We'll go put them so and draw them over. Yeah, I will.
The one we have the name and everything.
Yeah, I will.
Sunshine fill you up. From the talk to sunshine, we're good. Johnny, but I can't wait to tell you. Good and bad about me.
So like
You still believe what him saying.
No, man, I just say
Because him talking real.
Yeah, man.
I put a jersey over there, so I put a jersey in the 4th August and that. So when I finish up the girl, I'm not coming around that. Tell them
Yeah.
That was a good interview with this young lady
Yeah,
tonight.
go for the conference, as we say, you know. I forget somebody if you go there. I represent, you know.
You know, realize that's not disrespect, okay?
Yeah?
Why do I have to be a part of a disrespectful situation?
Come again.
Why do I have to be a part of a disrespectful situation? You're having a reggae conference in Canada, and the website Canadian Reggae Broadcast never given an official invitation. It's really, your sister today, when I got away with all that. Did she invite Toronto Reggae? Did she assume that we're going to be there?
Then she go on so we meet to, you know, but we say we not take no for an answer. Come I want no come to it, you know, see if you are take it. You know,
No,
see it how you
but-
make no. You know, you ask, you know, knock, and it shall be open. See it and find and knock. And ask, you know.
I
You see, from the non-deal with that way, we have to just go in and take it. That's some easy things, you know. From me, show you the respect and show you the honor. And you not deal with me right. You take what is mine, man. Reggae to it. Somebody up there, so the thing set up for you.
I respect you.
You want to start dropping up there every night, every Saturday night you want to put sin up there. And when you come, we get a top you know, put over the glass.
I have a full idea of it.
You know, see it. Let's start work on it, man. We can't go white work come. You know, disrespect the vibes, you know, see it. See me? Especially when a politician vibes, you know, you know. I take it from him because remember the money where they have a free money. Free money.
Alright. So you see,
I don't back
so you see why we can't tone down. You see why we can't tone down.
That at the back, you're Iowa.
Yes.
So, you know,
That's what I told him.
you know. So, just go in there and start cooking things up there, man. Because remember, you know, people are past, I found good things are going on, you know.
The positive things are going to see. We have to honor the community better than
yeah,
we did.
man. See me?
Be good tonight, yeah. Yeah, you see the one guy, I stick you happy tonight. He get light up.
Capture land.
He can go, hey, find a tune now and call it now. Capture land by the one called Connect. It's 8:54. I wanted to play some other tunes, but since we
turn on the E.
You turn on the I you know what, got me like this producer, you know, but you know, he like fight, you know, but he like when push me in the front. Play the tune.
Say good night.
Good night, my people. Thank you for listening in another night. Marcus Garvey, Celebration tomorrow at a different book list. 779 Bathurst at Bloor. Put on by the, I don't know why I try to read, I mean, I have on glasses. Tobono Institute. My sister in Tandiwa, thank you for calling in tonight. If you want more information about what she's doing and tomorrow at a different book list, I shall be there. 416-825-7900. The 130th Earth Strong of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Run, tune, Rastaman. Thank you, Errol. Thank you.
Okay, go on.
Thank you, Ice Stick. And now, what we are doing? I'll turn on the heat on them in a Rasta. That the bad boy, Errol again. Jesus, tell him again. Turn on the heat. And that, you know what we pick one tonight. Turn on the heat, father. Turn it on. You said coming out, turn on the heat. Is your hand up? If it's one, hold on, but I cannot do nothing. But when him start talking, hold on so much. You see? Turn on it. Woo! This a dancer. This a dancer what me love. But they can't tell me about dancer. This a dancer.
It's a dancer. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know if tell me about it. Let's sit down, man. Both can run reggae. Reggae can't run reggae. Reggae run uno. Reggae run the whole that way. But we know we're rolling. We know we're rolling. We know it's really reggae soldiers. So we have to do the work.
Yeah.
Then they realized that they became reggae soldiers by putting reggae in their mouth. Turn on the heat, Rasta said.
My selector, I turn on the heat. Oh, oh. I said my selector, I like on the play. Oh, oh, man. My selector. No guidance. Want you to know where the music is. Listen to the people. No guidance. Want you to know where the music is. Listen to the people. Yeah.
That's it.
Turn on the heat. My select, turn on the heat. Say operator, say
Turn on the heat. Hey!
I make a done, you will see. I want to know all they do, let me trust. Want to know all they do, let me see. Want to know all the dance when.
That's why I like that fight in Iraq.
All the dance when.
That's why I love that fight because you come from, you feel so righteous in yourself because of your belief in the music and the truth, Rastafari, reggae. It's not a game for us. Yes, we do recognize that there's financial gain to be had, but that's not because none of what she does for her community is all for herself in her pocket. And that has been her MO from day one. And I'm on the baseline, well, I move baseline, I come for them.